Hello, I'm Vonnie Talent, a member of the LPC Evangelism and Mission Team. Each month in 2021, the Evangelism and Mission Team will be focusing and presenting information about the different categories of organizations that LPC is supporting this year. This month, we are focusing on the categories of world, women, and children. Today, we're spotlighting MedLend in Uganda. MedLend provides free healthcare services and resources for people in the world's poorest countries. My high school friend, Mike Knorr, will be speaking to you about his involvement for the past several years with MedLend. He has traveled and worked directly with doctors, women, children, and people in Uganda. After the worship service, we will have a time to chat on Zoom where you can hear more and ask questions of Mike.
Hello, my name is Mike Knorr. I'm a volunteer for MedLend. Dr. Henry Hamilton is an OBGYN, and his partner, Dr. Tom Margolis, is a urogynecologist who started MedLend about 20 years ago. It's a very grassroots, nonprofit organization, sort of like Doctors Without Borders, that does women's health care in Uganda, the Philippines, India, Peru, and other parts of the world. Ugandans live on about $2 or less per day. Only 2% of the people live to be 60, and less than 1% get educated beyond 4th grade. The MedLend surgeons perform fistula repair. In poor countries around the world, there's nearly 2 million women with fistulas. A fistula is often caused when women don't have good prenatal care. Typically, childbirth occurs in small villages, and as the women push to deliver the baby, it causes a tear in the pelvic wall. The women are treated like people with leprosy. They're subject to a life of isolation, humiliation, and loss. On my first medical mission, I recall waking up in the middle of the night and I would literally start crying as I thought of these women and how hard their lives were, that they'd have to lay on the hard concrete floors after their surgeries, the poor hygiene, the crumbling infrastructure. I asked the nurses what would most improve the lives of the people at the hospital, and they said new mattresses. The mothers and the babies were dying from infections that they got off the 30-year-old mattresses that had become bacterial sponges. And we built a 6,000 square foot women's fistula ward. It's called Kupana, and it means hope in their country. We bought pavers because the road between the hospital and the women's ward was very rough, and it was very painful for them after surgery. In the United States, one fistula repair can easily cost $25,000 when you add the hospital stay. So, just think of that. 400 women over there are going to get surgeries for the same price as one surgery in the United States. So it's really great. We've got the cost down to under $100 per person. And when you think about that, $100 gives that woman her life back. She gets to go back to her family, back to her village. It's really inspiring what $100 can do. We also bring school supplies for the kids. They don't have pens or paper or anything. We bring coloring books for them. I've brought DVD players, and some people have donated old cartoon DVDs that I've given to some of the larger schools. I've bought soccer balls, filled vans full of soccer balls. These kids typically would have just taken a T-shirt and wadded it up and tied it with twine or a piece of Glad bag or something like that. They literally have nothing. Again, you guys, the second year you donated, I really appreciate it. Vonnie, thank you for coordinating and believing in the work that I do, and lots of people's lives, not only the women getting the surgery, have a much better life, but you're bringing a lot of joy to a lot of kids that otherwise wouldn't be experiencing the joy that they're getting. So again, thank you very much.